Knock it.
I gotta remember that. I like that. I gotta have to use that again. Yeah. Hey, let's go dancing. Let the music knock it. Okay, good.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
All right, let's skip these two little old gentlemen because they're just telling what has happened and it doesn't mean anything. So that goes down to enter Buckingham. Go to scene 2.
It's
Act 2, scene 2.
Scene 2, yes.
it's
Okay.
scene 2. Very bad. On the lines there.
Yes. 2-1, 2-1.
Scene 2 is Chamberlain.
Yes, it is. Reading this letter.
My lord, the horses your lordship sent for, with all the care I saw well chosen, ridden and furnished. They were young and handsome, and of the best breed of the north. When they were ready to set out for London, a man of my lord's cardinals, by commission and main power, took them.
Hello.
With this reason.
Hi. Oh my God, I want to talk to you. I'm in the middle of reading Shakespeare. I'm reading King something or other.
With this reason.
I want to talk to you. When's a good time?
Not that reason. Mute.
1 hour be.
Peter, mute.
Mute the king.
Oh, got it. Okay. I couldn't remember. 23 hours ahead. Okay.
Mute the king.
Mute the king.
So
Kill the king.
what time there right now?
Just a minute.
On Monday morning, evening.
Thing to do there, don't you?
Oh, he's under a different name, is he? There we go. Okay.
Now you got him.
Now.
Where were we?
They took them from me with this reason. His master would be served before a subject, if not before the king, which stopped our mouths, sir. I fear he will indeed. Well, let him have them. He will have all, I think. Well met, my Lord Chamberlain. Good day to both your graces.
How is the king employed?
I left him private, full of sad thoughts and troubles. What's the cause? It seems the marriage with his brother's wife has crept too near his conscience.
Oh, his conscience has crept too near another lady.
'Tis so. This is the cardinal's doing, the king cardinal, that blind priest, like the eldest son of fortune, turns what he list. The king will know him one day.
Pray God he do. He'll never know himself else.
How holily he works in all his business, and with that what zeal, for now he has cracked the league between us and the emperor. The king's new great nephew, he dives into the king's soul, and there scatters dangers, doubts, writhing of the conscience, fears and despairs, and all these for his marriage. And out of all these, to restore the king, he counsels a divorce, a loss of her that, like a jewel, has hung 20 years about his neck, yet never lost her luster. Of her that loves him with that excellence that angels love good men with, even of her that, when the greatest stroke of fortune falls, will bless the king, and is not his course pious. Heaven keep me from such counsel. 'Tis most true that these news are everywhere. Every tongue speaks of them, and every true heart weeps for it. and that dare look into these affairs see this main end. The French king's sister. Heaven will one day open for the king's eyes, and so long have slept upon this bold, bad man.
And free us from his slavery.
We had need pray, and heartily, for our deliverance, or this imperious man will work us all, from princes into pages. All the men's honors lie like one lump before him, to be fashioned into what pitch he pleases.
For me, my lords, I love him not, nor fear him. There's my creed. As I am made without him, so I'll stand. If the king please, his curses and his blessings touch me alike. Their breath I not believe in. I knew him, and I know him, so I leave him to him that made him proud, the Pope.
Let's in, and with some other business put the king from these sad thoughts that work too much upon him. My lord, you'll bear us company? Excuse me, the king has sent me otherwhere. Besides, you'll find most unfit time to disturb him. Health to your lordships. Thanks, my good Lord Chamberlain.
How sad he looks. Sure, he's much afflicted.
Who's there, huh?
Pray God he be not angry.
Who's there, I say? How dare you thrust yourselves into my private meditations? Who am I, huh?
A gracious king that pardons all offenses, malice ne'er meant. Our breach of duty this way is business of estate, in which we come to know your royal pleasure.
You are too bold. Go to. I'll make you know your times of business. Is this an hour for temporal affairs, huh? Who's there? Ah, my good Lord Cardinal. My good Lord Cardinal, my Wolsey. This quiet of my wounded conscience, thou art fit for a king. You're welcome, most learned reverend sir, into our kingdom. Use us and it. My good lord, have great care I be not found a talker.
Sir, you cannot. I would, your grace, would give us but an hour of private conference.
We are busy. Go.
This priest has no pride in him?
Not to speak of, I would not be so sick, though, for his place, but this cannot continue.
If it do, I'll venture one have at it.
I another.
And off they go. Your grace has given a precedent of wisdom above all princes in committing freely your scruple to the voice of Christendom. Who can be angry now? What envy reached you, the Spaniard, tied by blood and favor to her, must now confess, as if they had any goodness, the trial just and noble. All the clerks, I mean all the learned ones, in Christian kingdoms have their free voices. Rome, the nurse of judgment, invited by your noble selves, hath sent our general tongue unto us. This good man, this just and learned priest, Cardinal Campius, whom once more I present unto your highness.
And once more in mine arms I bid him welcome, and thank the holy conclave for their loves. Thou hast sent me such a man I would have wished for.
Your grace must needs deserve all strangers' loves. You are so noble. Your Highness's hand I tender my commission, by whose virtue the court of Rome commanding you, my lord, Cardinal of York, are joined with me, their servant, in impartial judging of this business.
2 equal men. The queen shall be acquainted forthwith for what you come. Where's Gardner?
Oh, I know, your judge, your majesty. I have always loved her, and so dear in heart not to deny her, that a woman of less place might ask by law. Scholars allowed freely to argue for her.
I, and the best she shall have, and my favor to him that does best, God forbid else. Cardinal, prithee call Gardner to me and my new secretary. I find him a fit fellow.
Give me your hand. Much joy and favor to you. You are the king's now.
But to be commended forever by your grace, whose hand has raised me.
Come hither, Gardiner.
My lord of York, was not one Dr. Pace in this man's place before him?
Yes, he was.
Was he not held a learned man?
Why, yes, surely.
Believe me, there is an ill opinion spread then even of yourself, Lord Cardinal.
How? Of me?
They will not stick to say you envied him, and fearing he would rise, he was so virtuous, kept him a foreign man still, which so grieved him that he ran mad and died.
Oh, heavens, peace be with him. That's Christian care enough. And for living murmurers, there's places of rebuke. He was a fool, and for he needs be virtuous. That good fellow, if I command him, follows my appointments, and I will have none so dear else. Learn that, brother, that we live not to be gripped by any meaner persons.
Deliver this with modesty to the queen. The most convenient place that I can think of for such receipt of learning is Blackfriars. It is a good little place, and there shalt meet about this weighty business. My wolsey, see it furnished. Oh, my lord, would it not grieve an able man to leave so sweet a bedfellow? But conscience, oh, 'tis tender place, and I must leave her. Exeunt.
Scene 3.
Scene 3, antechamber of the Queen's apartments. Anne Boleyn and an old lady.
Not for neither. Here's the pang that pinches. His Highness, having lived so long with her, and she so good a lady that no tongue could ever pronounce dishonor of her. But by my life, she never knew harm doing. Oh, now, after so many courses of the sun enthroned, still growing in a majesty and pomp, the which to leave a household full more bitter than 'tis sweet, at first to acquire after this process, to give her the avant, it is pity, would move a monster.
Hearts of most hard-tempered melt and lament for her.
Oh, God's will, much better, she ne'er had known pomp, thought be tenfold, yet if that quarrel fortune do divorce, it from the bearer, 'tis a sufferance panging a soul, and body severing.
Alas, poor lady, she's a stranger now again.
So much the more. Must pity drop upon her? Verily, I swear 'tis better to be lowly born, and range with humble livers in content, than to be perked up in a glistening grief and wear a golden sorrow.
Our content, it's our best having.
By my troth and maidenhead, I would not be a queen.
Beshrew me, I would, and venture maidenhead for't, and so would you, for all this peace of your hypocrisy. You that have so fair parts of women on you, have too a woman's heart, which ever yet affected eminence, wealth, sovereignty, which so to say sooth our blessing, and which gives, saving your menacing the capacity of your soft chivalrous conscience would receive, if you might please to stretch it.
Nay, good troth.
Yes, troth and troth, you would not be a queen?
No, not for all the riches under heaven.
'Tis strange a threepence bode would hire me, old as I am, to queen to. But I pray you, what I think you of a duchess? Have you limbs to bear the load of title?
No, in truth.
Then you're weakly made. Pluck off a little. I would not be a young count in your way, for more than blushing comes too, if your back cannot vouchsafe this burden. 'Tis too weak ever to get a boy.
How do you talk? I swear again I would not be a queen for all the world.
In faith, for little England you'd venture an embalming. I myself would for Carnarvonshire, although there longed no more to the crown, but that, lo, who comes here?
Good morrow, ladies. What were't worth to know the secret of your conference?
My good lord, not your demand. It values not your asking. Our mistress's sorrows we were pitying.
It was a gentle business, and becoming of the action of good women. There is hope. All will be well.
Now I pray God, amen.
You bear a gentle mind, and heavenly blessings follow such creatures, that you may, fair lady, perceive I, insincerely, and high notes ta'en of your many virtues, the King's Majesty commands his good opinion of you, and does purpose honor to you no less flowing than the Marchioness of Pembroke, to which title £1,000 a year annual support out of his grace he adds.
I do not know what kind of my obedience I should tender. More than my all is nothing, nor my prayers are not words duly hallowed, nor my wishes more worth than empty vanities. Yet prayers and wishes are all I can return. Beseech your lordship, vouchsafe to speak my thanks and my obedience, as from a blushing handmaid to his highness, whose health and royalty I pray for.
Lady, I shall not fail to approve the fair conceit the king hath of you. I have pursued her well. Beauty and honor in her are so mingled that they have caught the eye of the king, and who knows yet but from this lady may proceed a gem to lighten all his isle. I'll go to the king and say I spoke with you.
My honored lord,
Why, this is, see, I have been begging 16 years in court, am yet a courtier, beggary, nor could compart betwixt too early and too late for any suit of pounds, and you, oh fate, oh, a very fresh fish here, five, upon this compelled fortune. Have you mouth filled up before you open it?
this is strange to me.
How taste it? Is it bitter? 40 pence, no, there was a lady once, 'tis an old story, that would not be a queen, that would she not, for all the mud in Egypt. Have you heard it?
Come, you are pleasant.
With your theme I could overmount the lark, and the Marchioness of Pembroke, £1,000 a year for purse respect, no other obligation. By my life that promises more thousands honors train is longer than his foreskirt. By this time, I know your back will bear a duchess. Say, are you not stranger than your word?
Good lady, make yourself mirth with your particular fancy, and leave me out on't. But I had no being, if this salute my blood a jot, it faints me to think what follows. The queen is comfortless, and we forgetful in our long absence. Pray, do not deliver what here you've heard to her.
What do you think me?
And off they go. The next scene is in Blackfriars. It is a fabulous scene with a whole bunch of trumpets and all that good things. And finally, Wolsey comes in with the king, and they are calling for the queen to come in. Whilst our commission from Rome is read, let silence be commanded.
What's the need? It hath already public been read, and all the sides your authority allowed. You may then spare out that time.
Be it so. Proceed. Say, Henry, King of England, come into this court.
Say, Henry, King of England, come into the court.
Here.
Say, Queen Catherine, Queen of England, come into the court.
Catherine, Queen of England, come into the court.
Sir, I do desire to do me right and justice, and to bestow your pity on me, for I am a most poor woman, and a stranger born out of your dominions, having here no judge indifferent, nor no more assurance of equal friendship in proceeding. Alas, sir, in what have I offended you? What cause hath my behavior given to your displeasure, that thus you should proceed to put me off and take your good grace from me? Heaven witness, I have been to you a true and humble wife, and at times to your will conformable, even in fear to kindle your dislike, yea, subject to your countenance, glad or sorry, as I saw it inclined. When was the hour I ever contradicted your desire, or made it not mine too? Or which of your friends have I not strove to love, although I knew he were mine enemy? What friend of mine that had to him derived your anger did I not continue in my liking? Nay, give notice he was from thence discharged? Sir, call to mind that I have been your wife in this obedience upward of 20 years, and have been blessed with many children by you. If in the course and process of this time you can report and prove it to against mine honor aught, my bond to wedlock, or my love and duty against your sacred person, in God's name, turn me away, and let the foul's contempt shut door upon me, and so give me up to the sharp kind of justice. Please you, sir, the king, your father, was reputed for a prince most prudent, of an excellent and unmatched wit and judgment. Ferdinand, my father, king of Spain, was reckoned one the wisest prince that there had reigned by many. A year before, it is not to be questioned that they had gathered a wise council to them of every realm that did debate this business, who deemed our marriage lawful. Wherefore I humbly beseech you, sir, to spare me, till I may, by my friends in Spain, advised, whose counsel I will implore, if not in the name of God, your pleasure be fulfilled.
You have here, lady, and of your choice, these reverend fathers, men of a singular integrity and learning, yea, the elect of the land, who are assembled to plead your cause. and it may therefore bootless that the longer you desire the court as well for your own quiet as to rectify what is unsettled in the king.
His Grace has spoken well and justly. Therefore, madam, 'tis fit this royal session do proceed, and that, without delay, their arguments be now produced and heard.
Lord Cardinal, to you I speak.
Your pleasure, madam.
Sir, I am about to weep, but thinking that we are a queen, or long to have dreamt so, certain the daughter of a king, my drops of tears I'll turn to sparks of fire.
Be patient then yet.
I will, when you are humble, nay before, or God will punish me. I do believe, induced by potent circumstances, that you are mine enemy, and make my challenge, you shall not be my judge, for it is you have blown this coal betwixt my lord and me, which gods do quench. Therefore I shall say again, I utterly abhor, yea, from my soul, refuse you for my judge, whom yet once more I hold my most malicious foe, and think not at all a friend to truth.
Oh, well, I do profess you speak not like yourselves, who ever yet had stood in charity and displayed the effects of disposition, gentle and of wisdom, or topping women's power. Madam, you do me wrong. I am no spleen against you, nor injustice for you or any. And how far I have proceeded, or how far further shall, is warranted by a commission from the consistory, and yea, the whole consistory of Rome. You charge me that I have blown this coal. I do deny it, and the king is present. If that be known to him, then I gainsay my deed. How may be wound and worthily my falsehood? Yea, as much as you could have done my truth. If he knew that I am free of your report, he knows I am not of your wrong. I therefore in him it lies to cure me, and the cure is to remove these thoughts from you, and that which before your highness shall speak in, I do beseech your gracious madam to unthink your speaking, and to say no more.
My lord, I am a simple woman, much too weak to oppose your cunning. You are meek and humble mouthed. You sign your place and calling, in full seeming with meekness and humility. But your heart is crammed with arrogancy, spleen, and pride. You have by fortune and by his highness favors gone slightly o'er low steps, and now are mounted where powers are your retainers, and your wards, domestics to you, serve your will as please yourself pronounce their office. I must tell you, you tender more your person's honor than your higher profession spiritual. That again I do refuse you for my judge, and here before you all appeal unto the Pope to bring my whole cause for his holiness, and to be judged by him.
The queen is obstinate, stubborn to justice, apt to accuse it, and disdainful to be tried by it. 'Tis not well. She's going away.
Call her again.
Catherine, Queen of England, come into the court.
Madam, you are called back.
What need you note it? I pray you, keep your way. When you are called, return. Now the Lord help They vex me past my patience. Pray you pass on. I will not tarry. No, nor evermore upon this business my appearance make in any of their courts.
Oh,
Oh, go thy ways, Kate. Uh, that man of the world shall report that he has a better wife. Let him not be trusted for speaking false in that. Thou art alone, if thy rare qualities, sweet gentleness, thy meekness saint-like, wife-like government, obeying in commanding, and thy parts of sovereign and pious else could speak thee out, the queen of earthly queens. She's noble born, and like her true nobility she hath carried herself towards me.
most gracious lord, in humblest manner I require your highness that it shall please you to declare in hearing of all these ears, for where I am robbed and bound, that must be unloosed, and therefore, although not there, and once and fully satisfied, whether ever I did broach this business to your highness, or laid any scruple in your way which might induce you to the question on it, or ever have to you, but with thanks to God for such a royal lady, and spake one of the least word that might be the prejudice of her present state, or touch of her good person.
No, my Lord Cardinal, I do excuse you. Yeah, upon mine honor, I free you from it. You are not to be taught that you have many enemies, that know not why they are so, but, like to village curs, bark when their fellows do. By some of these the queen is put in anger. You are excused, and but will you be more justified? You ever have wished the sleeping of this business, never desired it to be stirred, but oft have hindered oft the passages made toward it. On my honor, I speak, my good Lord Cardinal, to this point, thus far clear him. Now, what moved me to it, I will be bold with time and your attention. Then mark the inducement. Thus it came. Give heed to it. My conscience first received a tenderness, scruple, and prick on certain speeches uttered by the Bishop of Bayonne, then French ambassador, who had been hither sent on the debating of a marriage twixt the Duke of Orleans and our daughter Mary. In the progress of this business, ere determinate resolution, he, I mean the bishop, did require a respite, wherein he might the king his lord advertise whether our daughter were legitimate. Respecting this, our marriage with the dowager, sometimes our brother's wife. This respite shook the bosom of my conscience, entered me, yea, with a spitting power, and made to tremble the region of my breast, which forced in such a way that many amazed considerings did throng and pressed in with his caution. First, methought I stood not in the smile of heaven, who had commanded nature that my lady's womb, if conceived a male child by me, should do no more offices of life to it than the grave does to the dead. For her male issue or died where they were made, or shortly after this world had aired them. Hence, I took a thought. This was a judgment on me, that my kingdom, well worthy of the best heirs of the world, should not be gladdened in it by me. Then follows that I weighed the danger which my realms stood in by this issue's fail, and that gave to me many a groaning throe. Thus, hulling in the wild sea of my conscience, I did steer towards this remedy, whereupon we are now present here together. That's to say, I meant to rectify my conscience, which I then did feel sick and yet not well, by all the reverend fathers of the land and the doctors learned. First I began in private with you, my Lord of Lincoln. You remember how under the oppression I did reek when I first moved you?
Very well, my liege.
I have spoke long, and be pleased yourself to say how far you satisfied me.
So please your highness, the question did at first so stagger me, bearing a state of mighty moment in't, and consequence of the dread, that I committed the daring counsel which I am to doubt, and did entreat your highness to this course which you are running here.
I then moved you, my Lord of Canterbury, and got your leave to make this present summons. Unsolicited, I left no reverend person in this court, but by particular consent preceded under your hands and seals. Therefore, go on, for no dislike in the world against the person of the good queen, but the sharp, thorny points of my alleged reasons drives this forward. Prove but our marriage lawful. By my life and kingly dignity, we are contented to wear our mortal state to come with her. Catherine, our queen. Before the primest creature that paragoned o' the world.
So please your highness, the queen being absent, 'tis a needful fitness that we adjourn this court till further day. Meanwhile, must be an earnest motion made to the queen to call her back. Her appeal she intends unto his holiness.
I may perceive these cardinals trifle with me. I abhor the dire sloth and tricks of Rome. My learned and well beloved servant, Cranmer, prithee, return with thy approach. I know my comfort comes alone. Break up the court! I say, set on!
And we'll take a break with that one and come back in 5 minutes. Looks like we're in the first act when the big cannons went off. They set off the roof on the thatch roof on the building, and it burnt to the ground. What a terrible thing to have happen. And that, of course, was when the bard went to the country.
Yeah. Question. Do Cranmer and the king ever have conversations, just the two of them?
We will find out, won't we?
Yeah. Okay, that'll be weird.
Because
Okay.
I like interaction. I like to see interaction rather than a person talking with himself, if
Okay.
possible.
This and
Okay.
this.
So
and then
maybe
this.
make
Okay.
adjustment there.
Okay. We can do
It'll
that.
be fun.
Okay.
And Una, will you do the song in the next scene? If we have that
Sure.
song.
Well, that was my question, whether who wants to sing it, and if it is meant to be sung, you can,
I could do it.
as a poem, if you like.
I want to hear Una sing it.
Well, she can choose a melody that's very simple. I always think Greensleeves is the easiest way to read any of the songs. They kind of fall in the 4-note category. But it's up to you, kiddo. So we are at Act 3, Scene 1 in London's Queen's apartment. And we start with Catherine.
Take thy lute, wretch. My soul grows sad with troubles. Sing and disperse 'em, if thou canst, leave working.
Orpheus with his lute made trees, and the mountain tops that freeze bow themselves, then he did sing to his music plants and flowers, rivers spring as sun and showers, there had made a lasting spring. Everything that heard him play, even the billows of the sea, hung their heads and then lay by. His sweet music is such hard, killing care and grief of heart. Fall asleep for hearing die.
How now?
I please your grace, the two great cardinals wait in the presence.
Would they speak with me?
They willed me say so, madam.
Pray their graces to come near. What can be their business with me, a poor weak woman fain from favor? I do not like their coming. Now I think on it, they should be good men, their affairs is righteous, but all hoods make not monks.
Peace to your highness.
Your graces find me here part of a housewife. I would be all against the worst may happen. What are your pleasures with me, reverend lords?
May it please you, noble madam, to withdraw into a private chamber, and we shall give you the full cause of our coming.
Speak it here. There's nothing I have done yet on my conscience deserves a corner. Would all other women could speak this as a free soul as I do? My lords, I care not. So much I am happy above a number. If my actions were tried by every tongue, every eye saw him, envy and base opinion set against him. I know my life even so. If your business, seek me out, and that way I am wise in. Out with it boldly. Truth loves open dealing.
Tanta est erga te mentia integritas regina.
Oh, good my lord, no Latin. I am not such a truant since my coming, as not to know the language I have lived in. A strange tongue makes my cause more strange, suspicious. Pray, speak in English. Here are some will thank you, if you speak truth for their poor mistress's sake. Believe me, she has had much wrong. Lord Cardinal, the willing sin I ever yet committed may be absolved in English.
Noble lady, I am sorry my integrity should breed and service to his majesty and you. So deep suspicion, where all faith was meant. We come not by the way of accusation to taint that of honor which every good tongue blesses, nor to betray you any way to sorrow. You have too much, good lady, but to know how you stand minded in the weighty difference between the king and you, and to deliver like free and honest men our just opinions and comfort to your cause.
Most honored madam, my Lord of York, out of his noble nature, zeal and obedience, he still bore your grace, forgetting, like a good man, your late censure, both of his truth and him, which was too far, offers, as I do, in a sign of peace, his service and counsel.
To betray me. My lords, I thank you both for your good wills, yet speak like honest men. Pray God ye prove so. But how to make ye suddenly an answer? In such a point of weight, so near mine honor? More near my life, I fear, with my weak wit, and to such men of gravity and learning. In truth I know not. I was set at work among my maids, full little, God knows, looking either for such men or such business. For her sake that I have been, for I feel the last fit of my greatness. Good your graces, let me have time and counsel for my cause. Alas, I am a woman, friendless, hopeless.
Madam, you wrong the king's love with these fears. Your hopes and friends are infinite.
In England, but little for my profit. Can you think, lords, that any Englishman dare give me counsel, or be a known friend against his highness's pleasure, though he grown so desperate to be honest and live a subject? Nay, forsooth, my friends, they must weigh out my afflictions, that my trust must grow to live not here. They are, as all my other comforts are, far hence in mine own country, lords.
I would, your grace, would leave your griefs and take my counsel.
How, sir?
Put your main cause into the king's protection. His loving and most gracious, 'twill be much both for your honor better and your cause. For if the trial of the law o'ertake ye, you'll part away disgraced.
He tells you rightly.
Ye tell me what you wish for both. My ruin. Is this your Christian counsel? Out upon ye. Heaven is above all yet. There sits a judge that no king can corrupt.
Your rage mistakes us.
The more shame for ye. Holy men, I thought ye. Upon my soul, two reverend cardinal virtues, but cardinal sins and hollow hearts I fear ye. Mend 'em for shame, my lords. Is this your comfort? The cordial that ye bring a wretched lady, a woman lost among ye, laughed at, scorned? I will not wish ye half my miseries. I have more charity, but say I warned ye. Take heed, for heaven's sake, take heed, lest at once the burden of my sorrows fall upon ye.
Madam, this is a mere distraction. You turn the good we offer into envy.
Ye turn me into nothing. Woe upon ye, and all such false professors. Would you have me, if you have any justice, any pity, if ye be anything but churchmen's habits, put my sick cause into his hands that hates me? Alas, has banished me to his bed already. His love too long ago. I am old, my lords, and all the fellowship I now hold with him is only my obedience. What can happen to me above this wretchedness? All your studies make me a curse like this.
Your fears are worse.
Have I lived thus long? Let me speak myself. Such virtue finds no friends. A wife, a true one, a woman, I dare say without vain glory, yet never branded with suspicion. Have I with all my full affections shall meet the king, loved him next heaven, obeyed him, been out of fondness superstitious to him, almost forgot my prayers to content him, and am I thus rewarded? 'Tis not well, lords. Bring me a constant woman to be her husband, one that ne'er dream joy beyond his pleasure. And to that woman, when she has done most, yet will I add an honor, a great patience.
Madam, you wander from the good that we aim at.
My lord, I dare not make myself so guilty to give up willingly that noble title your master wed me to. Nothing but death shall e'er divorce my dignities.
Pray hear us.
Would I had never trod this English earth, or thought the flatteries that grow upon it. Ye have angels' faces, but heaven knows your hearts. What will become of me now, wretched lady? I am the most unhappy woman living. Alas, poor wenches, where are now your fortunes? Shipwrecked upon a kingdom where no pity, no friends, no hope, no kindred weep for me, almost no grave allowed me. Like the lily that once was mistress of the field and flourished, I'll hang my head and perish.
If your grace would but be brought to know our ends are honest, you'll feel more comfort. Why should we, good lady, upon what cause wrong you, Alas, your places, the way of our profession is against it, and we are to cure such sorrows, not to sow them. For goodness sake, consider what you do, how you may hurt yourself. I utterly grow from the king's acquaintance by this carriage. The hearts of princes kiss obedience, and so much they love it. But by the stubborn spirits they swell and grow as terrible as storms. I know you have a gentle, noble temper, a soul that is even as a calm. Pray think us, though we profess, peacemakers, friends, and servants.
Madam, you'll find it so. You wrong your virtues with these weak women's fears. A noble spirit as yours was put into you, ever casts such doubts, a false coin from it. The king loves you. Beware you lose it not. For us, if you please, to trust us in your business, we are ready to use our utmost studies in your service.
Do what you will, my lords, and pray forgive me. If I have used myself unmannerly, you know I am a woman, lacking wit, to make a seemly answer to such persons. Pray do my service to his majesty. He has my heart yet, and shall have my prayers, while I shall have my life. Come, reverend fathers, bestow your counsels on me. She now begs that little thought, when she set footing here, she should have brought her dignities so dear.